Today we're going to break down the mindset of a specific billionaire. Hey, it's Gary Coxe, business and life strategist. Now, I talk a lot about the mindsets of billionaires because I have some friends that are billionaires. I was very blessed to be mentored by a billionaire, but it also may surprise you to let you know that I have no desire to be a billionaire, at least at this time, because I'm not willing to pay the price. But that does not mean I would not want to listen to their advice to be more successful financially. So I'm going to give you some advice from a billionaire. I'm sure you've heard of CNN. Originally, that was founded by Ted Turner, and he had a statement. In fact, we'll break this statement down, and it was liked so well by Arnold Schwarzenegger that he repeats it, and I repeat it as well. So Ted Turner said, "Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise." Now, I'm going to break these things down for you, and I don't care if you're just a person who sells, maybe you're in some type of sales for a company, you want to apply all these principles. If you're a CEO, you want to apply these principles. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to apply these principles. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to learn to apply these principles. So, early to bed. All right, so let's break this down. It just sounds simple, but it's really not, and I'll tell you why. Early to bed. Because he knows it takes time. You have to put the time in. And now keep in mind, I will tell you this. My billionaire mentor, he did not get to bed early. He was just the opposite. He went to bed late. But it's not the time that you wake up or go to bed. It's the time you put in. But what he's saying is you have to make sure you're rested to put the time in. And just to give you an idea, right now it is 5:10 a.m. I'm making this video for you at 5:10 a.m. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. And again, it doesn't matter what time you wake up, but this is advice that I follow this advice like really, really strongly. So early to bed. What prevents you from getting to bed early? Can you make some changes? Maybe, I used to drink. Now, when I say drink, I'm talking like I drink at night, one every other night. I don't do it anymore because alcohol in the beginning makes you sleepy and fall asleep, but it'll wake you up in a couple hours, believe it or not. What are the behaviors that you have, that you exhibit, the lifestyle that you have that would prevent you from getting to bed earlier? Can you change some of those? Early to bed, early to rise. So now we've got the early to rise part. And again, I'm not saying that you have to wake up early. For me, I like it, but it's the time you put in. So my billionaire mentor, he would go to bed when I'd go to have dinner with him, they'd start dinner like at 9 o'clock at night, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. My last meal is usually, I don't like my last meal any further than like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm dead serious about that. But so he will go to like 1 o'clock in the morning. I won't go to 1 o'clock in the morning. My max is 10 o'clock. But he'll get up, he'll get his rest, he'll get up at 7 o'clock where I'm already up at 4 o'clock. Again, it's the time that you put in. So if you decide, okay, I want to work on early to rise, this is a behavior, a habit that you learn to do. It's a discipline that you get yourself into. What keeps you from getting up early? Well, if you go to bed late, that's going to be a problem. If you drink alcohol, that's going to be a problem. Do you have specific things that you have to get rid of? You have to decide. The Latin word for decide is to cut off. Like decide, you've heard of pesticide, suicide, right? You have to cut off. You have to decide to cut off certain things to make all these things happen. So for example, early to bed, early to rise. I will not go out on a date typically during the week. If I do, I want to make sure I am home by 7 o'clock. The time that I would typically go out on a date most likely is usually Saturday night, because I don't care what time I get to bed at Saturday night, because I don't care what time I wake up Sunday morning. So these are the disciplines that I have every single day of my life. Early to bed, early to rise, and work hard. I'm not much for using words like he is. But anyway, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell. Okay, work hard. Not hard work, but work hard. There's a difference. You have to put the time in. I made a video just recently, and in that video, I said to people, the reason you're not getting the results that you would like to get is because you've convinced yourself, you've conned yourself into thinking you're putting in the work when you are not. I watch most people, and when I consult with people, that's one of the first things I look for. Are you really putting in the work that's necessary to make this happen? And I've always believed this, and I know this for a fact, and I think you know it too, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It will always take you more time, energy, effort, and money to get the results that you started off originally wanting. Always. So if you go in the beginning to work hard and know you're going to have to put in the time, that's the best mindset to have. And I want you to be honest with yourself to see, well, okay, am I really putting in the hard work? I'm going to say most people aren't. And sometimes if you're not doing it effectively, you just feel like you're pushing a parked car. You're active, but active accomplishing nothing. So maybe you are working hard, but the car's parked. And if the car's parked, well, you can keep pushing, but nothing's going to happen. So maybe you have to change your strategy. And the next thing is advertise. I hear everything from, well, everything I do is word of mouth. That's ridiculous. Okay, that's great, but why would you not want to advertise? The bottom line is if people don't know you, they don't know you. If the people don't know you, then how can they buy your products or services? I just made a video. You might want to watch it. It's the video a couple days before this particular one on boosting reels. You can advertise for $1 a day. You've got to do something. If you don't advertise at all, you're hurting yourself. I tell people like if you don't save money, if you're not in the habit of saving money, just make a habit of learning to save $10 a week. $10 a week, that's it. That's not going to do much. It's not the savings of the money, it's the behavior of the habit. Most all that I know, major billion-dollar companies, not even billion-dollar companies, they all have one thing in common: they advertise. They advertise, they advertise, they advertise. So you must have some type of a habit of advertising. And I see so many people convince themselves, I don't care how small you are. If you can could you afford $1 a day? Could you afford $1 a day to post a reel? Most people can afford $1 a day. And if you can just do $1 a day, you're still advertising. All right, so there you have it. Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. I would love to see more of you. If you'd love to subscribe, if you already haven't. And I'd love to see your comments below because I like to read them and respond to as many of them as possible. I'm out of here. Till the next time. Don't let others rent space in your head. Have an awesome day.